Hey, what's up, everyone? This is SojuTalk, your weekly shot of K-pop. We're coming at you with a super spicy episode 151, and we're recording on August 9th, 2021. I'm Doug, and joining me today, we got Warren.
Hey, what's up, everybody?
And Anita.
Hello.
And as a quick reminder, check out SojuTalk on your favorite podcast platform, sub to us on YouTube, and join the SojuTalk Discord and be a part of the nation. All right, announcements. Big shout out to our new Fuego patron, Oh Snap. So, Oh Snap, bro.
Ooh,
Shout out to him.
Oh, Snap, what's up, man?
Yeah, this might be the second week. Technology. We have things about SojuTalk technology, right? Anita's situation might have improved. Warren's might still a bit oof. Next week it should get back to normal. Starting next week, we should have a fully hype level technology episode of SojuTalk. So bear with us for 1 week. Additionally, as some of you have been pointing out, we're getting file corruptions. It's not our fault. For some reason, Google Drive is doing that to us. It's an ongoing thing we're trying to fix. So if you lose us for like 5 seconds and then you lose the sync for a little, sorry, we're trying to work on it. We don't really know.
If any of you guys out there are dealing with big video files or audio files on Google Drive, video editors or whatnot, let me know. Let me know how you guys do things, because this is a bug I'm trying to fix or trying to work around. So any help would be appreciated.
Yeah, so that's a we're actually asking for some help on that one. So if you have that kind of experience, please let us know. But we are now at part 1 of SojuTalk episode 151. We're going to talk about 3 big new releases. We're going to choose a spicy song king and hit you with the music show winners. Boom. All right, these 3 songs this week. On Wednesday, August 4th, the first one, Weekly's Holiday Party came out. They are, of course, from Play-M Entertainment, debuted last year in 2020, and their last 3 songs are After School, Zigzag, and Tag Me, with 0 music show wins so far. All right, let's start off with a take this week. Okay, we ready for one?
Okay, already. Wow.
I think they made a big mistake of teasing After School at the beginning of the song.
Ooh.
Okay.
I'm saying that because the entire time I was listening to Holiday Party, I was thinking, well, this ain't After School.
It isn't.
Okay, I'm gonna say Holiday Party is not a bad song by any stretch of the imagination. It's just not a great song though. It's just kind of it's there. I think my main issues with the song, it's a fun time though. The main issues that I have with the song, it just doesn't feel like it goes anywhere.
True. Very repetitive.
Like, I also feel that outside of the little rap breaks, it's like the same structure just over and over again, and it doesn't change much. It feels like it's just looping at a certain point. That's my biggest gripe. Other than that, I do think the choreo for what they gave us is good. I like the, whatever they were doing. It was fun. I like the kids in Weekly, of course. But, for out of their 4 songs now, Holiday Party, After School, Zigzag, Tag Me, for me, this is one bottom 2. I wouldn't say it's bottom, but I would have to think about it.
I would say it's bottom for me.
Okay, Dino.
Wow, really?
Wow.
Wow.
That's because I prefer Zigzag over this. So it would be... Zigzag would be above this. And I definitely agree. It's the loop thing for me. I feel like the chorus is nice. I like the choreo, and I think the dance is very fun, and it pulls through the song. Mm-hmm. But if you're just listening to it, I just feel like it's the same one thing. Not a lot of ups and downs. It's not really a journey. It's more like we're just on the treadmill.
It's catchy though. It's very catchy.
It is. You get stuck in your head.
It's catchy, but for all the wrong reasons.
100% agree.
It gets stuck in your head, and you're like, oh no, I need something else. Like, it's not like 2 bars that get stuck. It's like 3 rhythms that get stuck in your head, and it's like, something else, please, something else, So Holiday Party, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
More like party's over. Look.
What? That was such a cringy line. More like party's over. Yeah.
Oh, dear.
Oh god.
Oh my god. Okay. Look, I don't know. I feel like this isn't like a horrible song either, right?
Yeah. It's not.
No. It's just like compared to everything they've done up until this point. It's just kind of annoying, everything about it. I'm not gonna lie,
okay, in an endearing way, I know what you mean. Like, it's
right. Like the main loop with like dan da dan, that thing is annoying, and like the melody, there's like 2 notes in the melody, right? Like it's just like, I mean, I'm sure there's ways to do what they did like really nicely, but I don't know, man. This is just not it, Captain. This is not it, sir. Like, this is.
But their outfits were super cute. I love the aesthetics still. It's just the song is not helping.
I mean, I think the aesthetics were cool too. It's
Yeah,
just
yeah.
Yeah, it's just a weird like. Okay, I'm fixing things. All right, it's just
What's
like
going on?
I don't know. It's a summer song. They already released the
Right.
summer song at the beginning of the summer-ish springtime, but after school. And of course, I gotta make the comparison, right? Like, how can you not
Yeah.
make the
Right.
comparison with those two songs? And it's just like, even after one listen, like when I wake up on a release day, right? I'm in my bed. I roll over, find the phone in my bed somewhere, find the phone, turn on the YouTubes, search up this new Weeekly joint. I played it. I was like, all right, that after school beat, I loving that, right? I was like, yes, we love that. And then this
Yeah.
song played. It was one of those songs, this happens once in a while, where I finished the song and I'm like, that's it though? Like, I'm like, ow. Oh, I can't hear Warren. Warren, are you here? You're muted for some reason.
Ooh.
Nope, we cannot hear you, sir. I'm like reading your lips. I can sort of understand what you're saying. Anita, you got anything else to say? We were almost done with the Weekly section. If Warren's still having issues, we'll take a break after it. But Anita, you got anything else to say about Weekly?
I'll just say that. How should I say it? Maybe it's like one yes, one not so yes with the Weekly. The Weekly releases where Tag Me was really strong, Zigzag was okay, After School really strong, and then this one. So I feel like it might be the trend where like the first release that they do for the season is really, really nice, and then this one is not as hype. And maybe that's the problem, that the hype goes really high in the beginning, and then the song that succeeds it, it's not quite to that level, and that's why you notice it a lot. But I still like Weekly. I still really want to like check out their stuff because I think they're really, really good. Still very, very young rookies. 4 songs only, so.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes, you're back.
Yes, you're
Okay.
back.
Did you mess up something?
Yeah, I don't know what happened.
Okay, it's fine though.
Yeah.
I agree. I think Weekly and Stacy
Yes.
are definitely my 2 favorite rookie-ish girl groups, And Weekly, I like what Anita's saying here. It's like an on-off type thing.
Yeah.
So even though we're not a huge fan of Holiday Party, just know the 5th release is gonna be a banger.
I bet it will.
Just saying. If it's not a banger, come back to this episode and make fun of Anita, because Anita
Oh, no.
is proclaiming that the 5th song of Weekly, when they come
So
back,
we're
probably in like November, maybe January-ish, is gonna be a banger, y'all.
Ooh,
Just prepare
yes.
your bodies for that. You got like 5 months for that. Yeah, it's just aight. That's how I just felt about this one. All right, let's move to the second song. On Friday, on August 6th, which unironically was the date of the start of Girls Planet 999, where Sunmi's a mentor. She
Yes.
released You Can't Sit With Us, so she is in Abyss Company, debuted 2007 with Wonder Girls, 2013 as a solo artist, and the last 3 releases were Tail, Borapipam, and La La Le, and she has 16 music show wins so far. All right, I'm gonna let Warren start with this one because I'm gonna go turn off my fan real quick.
Oh wow. Well, while he's turning off his fan, I don't know. I feel like at this point, like I'm praising all the retro neutral songs that are coming out. But this one is solid, like this is as
Yes.
solid as it gets, like not gonna lie, when I first heard the production, I was like, like it felt like another out of the box kind of cliche, retro wave, synth pop kind of deal. But then like she could sing,
Yeah, dude, vocals.
man.
Her vocals suit the style extremely well, in my opinion.
Right,
I
right.
think I wasn't a huge fan of Tail, but Borapipam and this song, for some reason, it
Yes.
matches her vocal tone really, really well, in my opinion. Really fun song. Sunmi rap section was interesting. I thought, was not my favorite part of the song. I'll say
I
that.
thought it was pretty cool. Why not?
My other issue with this one is like I think sometimes it was too much exposition where they just stopped the song for really long periods of time in the music video version.
Oh.
And
I
it
see.
took you out of it. That being said, I will give some props because the gunplay in this music video is above average for a K-pop music video. It's
like a movie.
She was double wielding a Beretta and a Deagle at one point.
Oh wow, you know the names.
All I'll say is the way she's holding them, if she actually shot a Deagle, she'd break her nose. The way she was holding it, like it's kind of funny. But you know, the action sequences are actually kind of good. Like I was really surprised by that in this one.
It had almost like a Tarantino kind of vibe to it.
Did.
Like
It did.
The camera movement and the frames and like the
Yeah.
180 flip and like the blood and like.
And then there's like the storyline, like I guess like boyfriend turns into a zombie, he comes back, and she decides to become a zombie too. It seemed like at the end because the police were surrounding them. I kind of liked what was going on. I thought it was funky and cool. And the place where they were at, for some reason reminded me of like a Blockbuster or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think that's what they were going for.
Yeah. And like, I bet we have a lot of listeners who've never been to a Blockbuster before, which is a shame. You know, this used to be my joint. All right, keep going. Or Anita, now, what do you think of "You Can't Sit With Us"?
Yes, to be honest, my first impression of the song was not super impressed, really, because I felt that Sunmi had done this type of sound already, and I can't pinpoint the song exactly, but it wasn't the last three. I think it was a little bit earlier, and I feel like, oh, this makes sense, but it's not something different. It's not something new, and I felt like, oh, I guess it's okay. And then a couple more listens, and I kind of appreciated more the vocals, the chorus, the choreo. The choreo is really fun. I liked watching the live performances for it, especially at the end. She does like a cheerleader stand thing, which I thought was cool. Especially if you watch the music video, it's like a lot of like Y2K, early Y2K, late 90s, like movie type of sets. Yep. I don't know, like very, like the aesthetic for it, very much the stuff I like. Very nice outfits. So I guess it won me over. But at first, I was a little not that impressed because of the sound. But it will grow me.
I think what you're getting at with the sound being similar and like getting... it first reminded me a lot of her collab with JYP a couple while back.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was right up this alley, right?
The disco one.
Right. I do feel like this song was like much better in terms of like production and songwriting though. Like it flows so well. That's where at the end of the day we've had a lot of synthwave comebacks so far, right? Like midway through last year up until this point, like we've had Twice do it, we had Everglow do it. We've had like so many people do it at this point. I feel like this is one of the better ones.
I 100% agree with this, sir. Yes.
That's upper tier right here. This is good stuff.
This is my favorite.
More of this, please.
This was the best song of the week by far, in my opinion.
I don't think that's a hot take.
I don't think that's a hot take either. You know?
No.
Yeah, Sunmi's doing her thing. I think what I like about Sunmi is she does generally switch it up, but at the same time, there's like a Sunmi vibe to all of the things she do. A little bit quirky, which is kind of a personification of who she is into the music, which I like. Also, we'll talk about something more once we get to Girls Playing the 999 because she was doing some interesting things out there too. Yeah, for sure.
The Force.
Yeah. But, let's move on to the last song of the week. We have The Boyz Thrill Ride. So they are from Cracker, debut 2017. Their last three releases. So Kingdom Come was via Kingdom, obviously. Christmassy was just a single released around Christmas time, obviously, and the last real release they had was The Stealer.
Love The Stealer.
That was a long time ago, though.
Like, a year ago, kind of.
October 2020, and for like a decently high tier boy group, that's a long time. 5 music show wins so far. All right, I'm gonna start with a take again. I am wearing the official SojuTalk Poo Poo Ass Ass hat for a reason this week.
Oh my god.
Oh no.
Oh no.
And it's probably because of this song. I'm just gonna say.
Oh boy.
That being said, I almost wore a bathrobe today too, like they did, but it's like I wore it for 10 minutes before we were gonna record, and I started sweating, so I took it off. Like it's way too hot to wear it. Wrong weather. Okay, this song I just feel like it has a lot of problems. Like this is the biggest for one of the biggest for me. Like meh songs that I've listened to in a while. I had pretty high expectations. I think like, because we're coming off of The Boyz on Kingdom, and they're really good whenever they're on any of the Kingdom shows, because they're like a performance-based group, right?
They are, yeah.
The problems I have with this song, particularly that do 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 over and over again,
That
like
loop.
way too many times. Additionally, they do give us some choreo. It's fun when they do it, but at the same time, like for a group like The Boyz, it's like we're not showing off the best part of The Boyz, in my opinion, right? And then overall, it's like this song just felt like a polished up summer B-side for a group, you know? Like, and the problem I have with this song for them is with this song, unless you are a fan of The Boyz and you like them, I find it hard to believe that a ton of people are gonna be like, yo, you remember that song Thrill Ride by The Boyz? You know? Like,
Yeah, it doesn't have like a killing point.
there's
a memorable
there's
point.
nothing like, cause there's other songs who've done songs like other groups that have done these summer-ish songs with these type of like funky beats lately. But it's like this one, it's just hard for me to want to come back to. I don't know. Maybe that's a bit mean, but
I mean, I definitely agree on the sound, but I would definitely come back for the music video because I thought the music video concept was really nice.
True. Yeah.
And I feel like that's a staple with The Boyz. I think their concept director, whatever they're doing, I've always really praised them because I really like how they do something different with the outfits or the shots or the sets. So I appreciate it because I didn't think I think they kept that up, but the song does not help. It really does not.
What? I don't know. What was interesting about the music video for you?
I like the hotel theme. I don't know.
Yeah, the hotel theme was
Yeah.
interesting. Like the members each had like a section, right? Like their jobs, I guess, in this resort, whatever set that they made, and also like the different choreo shots, like with the bathrobes and also the basketball court, and like the lighting was weird in the basketball court. It felt like a spotlight was there or something, which I thought was interesting. And then the lifeguard shots too. Like, I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of detail in the visual aspects, and like every shot looks pretty cool. But the song does not live up to that.
Look, if I don't know, like if the song is this and the music video is the main selling point, the music video better be music video of the year over here. I don't know, man. This is easily one of the most annoying tracks I've heard this year.
Oof.
And I'm sorry if there's any The Boyz fans listening in. This is one of those moments where Warren goes, "Ooh, man, did not enjoy listening to that." And Doug, when you were like, "Oh man, maybe I'm being too mean." I don't think you are being mean at all, sir. This is, I don't know, like each individual section of the song were falling apart. There was no glue. The production was like, it felt empty because it's relying completely on that annoying loop that is present throughout the entire track.
But the bridge.
Okay,
The bridge was good. Bridge was good.
They needed more of that bridge.
The bridge at the end of second chorus, right?
yes,
That
we
was
needed
good.
more.
Yeah,
That
but
was
if there's no foundations, how can a bridge stand, y'all?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh.
Oh my god.
Just saying.
I mean, at the end of the day, like, what do we have? We the takeaway here for me with this comeback is
Yeah.
nothing. It's I didn't get the impression that the boys are good at performing. I didn't get the impression that they're good at rapping or singing anything. This is one of those comebacks where it does like negative like good for the group,
Wow.
and I'm sad.
I saw some people who also didn't like NCT Dream's Hot Sauce comparing the two.
Oh my god, Hot Sauce is way better than this.
Okay.
Oh,
We
really?
shouldn't even compare. Like
Really?
Hot Sauce is technically speaking, it's a complete track. This is incomplete
On the production side. Okay.
on just like a technical level. We're just missing so many parts of the track. Feels like they were mixing it and then just stopped, and they were like, "Let's just put it out." You know, like it was,
Okay, we really spicy. We were so spicy in this review of this song. Okay, don't cancel us. Yes, the boys.
Cancel me
yay.
if you're gonna cancel anybody.
It's just that the expectations are pretty high for The Boyz, and
I mean-
at least for me, like the songs that they've released,
Bro, I'm
Before
coming
this,
with I'm
right?
coming in with baseline expectations, just
Yeah.
average.
Oh, okay.
At least for me, I was expecting a little bit more as far as because I mean they're not bad singers, like they can sing, so I
But-
feel like it
but-
wasn't really emphasized here.
Just
you gotta
imagine,
emphasize it, yeah.
but just imagine you're like a casual K-pop fan. You didn't watch Kingdom, right? And the last song you heard from the Boys was The Stealer, right? And you're like, oh, we haven't heard the Boys in like a year, 10 months, and then this
yeah.
is the next track. You'd be like, you know what I mean? That's
the
just how it
Steeler
goes.
was
was
great.
top tier.
Steeler's
right there.
amazing song. Yeah, so it is what it is. All right, so the Boys still right. I hope they come back relatively soon with some fire
Me
though.
too, yes.
You know, like I'm
Truly.
talking
Oh my
like
god.
2-3
I haven't
months
listened to the rest
repackage.
of the. I think is it a mini? I don't know if I think it's a mini, but I think the mini has gotten better reactions. I think than the title track, so I'll listen to the B sides.
It is an
Yeah.
EP with 6 tracks.
It's
Okay,
also
EP.
For reference, it sold 150,000 first day sales. Their
Wow.
second best thing, Chase, sold only 164 in the first day. So
Oh.
like
Wow.
3 times the amount, basically.
I mean, that's
Big boy
good.
numbers.
That's good.
Big boy
I
numbers.
think being on the Kingdom has really helped their popularity lately. All right, other big releases this week include On and Off released 2 songs. One of them is called TripAdvisor, which is a B-side music video from something from a mini album they released earlier in the year and is a 4th year anniversary. It is not just the PPL for TripAdvisor. It's
Okay,
not.
yeah. I was about to
And
say.
then they released the title track today. So that was for their 4th anniversary. I can't talk. And then today they released Popping, which is a genuine title track. It almost actually no, these 3 like won the poll by a lot that we put for the
Yeah.
homies. Yeah, so sorry On and Off. Other things, One Us released Shut Up Crazy Hot. What a name. That is not a genuine title track, but it is through their theater performance project. So they're having some kind of project thing. Kim Woo-jin, formerly of Stray Kids, released Ready Now. Akmu released 2 more of the music videos. Next episode with Janabi's Choi Jong-hoon and Everest with Sam Kim. Ha Sung-hoon released Strawberry Gum and Hyoyeon keeps changing up the name. It was Hyoyeon, then it was DJ Hyo, now we're just Hyo. So she released Second featuring BB. So those are the other big releases this
Oh,
week.
don't know those featuring on Strawberry Gum. That was a weird visual.
Yeah, Ha Sung-hoon and Don Mills, right?
Yeah. It was weird seeing them together. Just weird
Just doesn't make
lighting.
sense.
Yeah.
All right, we're at Spice King now. We're gonna evaluate the Soju chart, and the song that placed number 1 will be this week's Spice King. All right, let's go over the changes that we made for season 4 again that we talked about last week. We'll just go through them quick. New scoring system: first place vote is 5 points, second place vote is 3, third place vote is 1. If everyone gives it first place, it gets a double crown, and you still just need 3 crowns to enter Hall of Spice. We now have a 4th entity, our patrons, the Harold's homies. They're also included in the voting. And then there's no more tiebreakers anymore. All right. Last week, episode 115, Dreamcatchers Because picked up its first crown. Second place was Astros After Midnight. And third place was Somi's Dum Dum. All right. Weekly candidates this week are... I don't know why I said weekly there, but Weekly's Holiday Party is a
God.
new candidate. Sunmi's You Can't Sit With Us and The Boy Thrill Ride are the new candidates. This is I actually I'm pretty confident about this chart this week.
Really? Wow. Okay.
Oh, really? I am not.
I'm not confident in the point where I think that this like any of these songs are like definitely Hall of Spice winning songs or anything like that. But like I'm confident in the order at least.
Okay. Go for it.
Second and third place I debated between Dreamcatchers Because and Weekly's Holiday Party. I was debating which one I wanted to put in second and third. I decided on putting Weekly's Holiday Party in third and Dreamcatchers
go.
Because in second. And then in
Alright.
first place, I have Sunmi's You Can't Sit With Us, which is, I think, the best
Great.
by far out of those 3 songs.
There you go.
Okay.
All right, so that was my chart. What about you, Anita?
Well, I did not feel confident about this chart. But well, no, I do agree with number 1. I placed Sunmi in number 1 as well. Definitely has grown on me. I think the live performances are really fun. Second and third, I don't feel confident in. Second, I going to place Akmu's Naka because I still like it.
Wow.
Not
okay.
as much as last week because it went down a spot.
Oh my
but
god. Anita.
I'll put it in
Anita.
second. And in third, I was also debating whether to put this group in here or not, but it is catchy. And
Dreamcatcher?
Weekly, actually.
Oh crap! Never mind.
Yeah, so I put Weekly in third. Holiday Party. I don't know. The dance is really fun. I feel like it could have been done a little bit more. So I can't guarantee the song will be in the chart next week. But for now, I will place it there.
All right.
You know, Naka by Akmu is a good song. It's fine.
Yeah.
Again,
it's
but you
nice.
won't put it on your list.
No, because there's a better song on the
There's
album.
a better song out of those. three.
Hey Kid, Close Your Eyes featuring Izoni by Akmu. I'm putting it on second. That's a good
Second
song.
place?
Okay.
It's a good song. I was just, you know what? I think like after all these weeks, it's starting to grow on me, which is
Even
kind
more?
of funny to say. Yeah, which I know it doesn't make sense because it's been on my chart this entire time, but like, I don't know. I'm starting to turn around and say this is kind of really good now. First place, you guessed it. You Can't Sit With Us by Sunmi. I think it would have easily won any other week as well, but like, you know, with the lineup we have, like, you know, today, I think it's easily number first. I kind of got cut out in the earlier segment because my mic went all technical difficulty 404.
Oh yeah, for Weekly.
But Weekly, yeah. But I think there were some you know, nice moments to it. I don't think it was as good as the other first tracks, other three tracks we discussed, that they have already dropped. But hey, you know, like, it wasn't great, but at the same time, it wasn't like awful. You know, I still had fun listening to it. I'll say that I still had fun listening to it. So I'm putting it on third.
Okay, thank you.
Nice.
Okay.
You weren't that far off.
So we all put it in third place, I think.
Didn't you say you put Weekly on second?
No, I put them in third. I Dreamcatcher
Oh.
second.
Oh,
Ah, yes.
okay.
What do
never
the
mind.
homies do?
All right. You know, we have a double crown this week
Huh? Oh!
because they also put Sunmi's "You Can't Sit With Us" in first place
course.
by us.
Wow.
Of course.
Let's
So
go.
all the four entities, the three
Let's
crew,
go.
and the Harold's homies all put Sunmi's "You Can't Sit With Us" in first place, picking up 2 crowns eligible for Hall of Spice next week, y'all.
Oh my god.
There's one big roadblock for next week. Red Velvet is the big road.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Hey.
Next Monday, Red Velvet. Okay. The Harold's homies have Sunmi's "You Can't Sit With Us" in first place. Second place, they have Dreamcatcher's "Because," and then in third place, they also have Weekly's "Holiday Party."
Wow.
Oh. Okay.
In terms of the way they voted, right? So they all vote. You could just look at these relative point totals. Sunmi's "You Can't Sit With Us" had 37 points.
Ooh.
Dreamcatcher had 20, and Weekly had 19. So it was really
okay.
close.
That was close.
Okay.
It was close. All right, so let me do some totaling. Could already tell what it looks like. All right, yo, if you guys had just combined your Akmu votes, it would have gotten second place, I think. But
Naka's not that good. Go away, Anita.
all right, in first place, we have Sunmi's "You Can't Sit With Us," of course, picking up double crowns, all 20 points. In second place with 6 points, we have Dreamcatcher's "Because," and then in third place with 4 points, we have Weekly's "Holiday Party." So that is the chart for this week.
Wow.
Boom.
Power of the homies.
Congrats.
Hey, me, the homies, and the final chart were all the same this week.
Yeah.
All right, you know, I like this double crown joint, right? I think next week versus Red Velvet's gonna be crazy.
I didn't
More stakes.
think it would happen this quickly.
I didn't think so
lie.
either.
Yeah.
You know, the thing is, it's gonna be hard for Sunmi to enter Hall of Spice because just on the pure hype of Red Velvet coming back, like it could be. I honestly think it could be a worse song than the Sunmi song and still beat it.
Well, we'll
I
see
mean,
about
it
that.
could-
We'll see.
It could be another Zimzala That's all I'm saying. You never know.
Oh, okay.
It won't be.
It could be another RBB, you know?
Finally, we're at show winners. Anita, hit us with them.
Yes, we have 2 winners. We have BTS with "Permission to Dance." Picked up another win on Inkigayo, so they're up to a total of 7 wins for that promotion period. And we have Dio with "Rose" with his first win on Music Bank. So
Nice.
congrats to Dio. Also, shout out to his
Congrats.
album. Great stuff.
As far as I know, that is Dio's first solo win ever, I believe.
Yeah.
Additionally, starting August 14th, NCT's Jungwoo and Stray Kids' Eno will be joining IZ*ONE's Minju as the new MCs of Music Core. So Minju's already been on there, and there's been like issues with the other hosts, so they got new male hosts on that show. Additionally, there were only 2 music shows that gave out awards. Obviously, the Olympics, COVID situation, not great. I believe most of the music shows should be back next week. Before we end part 1, I did a poll in the K-pop channel on our Discord about people's favorite Red Velvet songs, right?
Oh,
Okay.
I listed all the title tracks and I let them pick 3 songs, right?
all right.
Okay.
I'll just
3.
list the top 3 favorite songs on average. Number 1 with 16 votes, Psycho.
What?
Good stuff, yeah.
Number 2 with 14 votes, Peekaboo. And number 3
What?
with 12 votes, Bad Boy. So those are the top 3 Red
Wow.
Velvet songs.
I disagree.
Anita, what's your favorite Red Velvet song?
I really love Dum Dum.
Oh, mate.
Dum Dum is a banger.
Dum Dum only has 5 votes. So
What the heck?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay. If I had to pick, I would pick Bad Boy.
Bad Boy's up there too, yeah.
Yeah.
Bad Boy is definitely up there. Oh man, I want to choose 4. Not gonna lie.
Choose 4. What were your
Okay,
4 favorite?
Dum Dum, Peekaboo, Red Flavor, Dum Dum.
Wait, you said
Oh,
Dum Dum
Red
twice.
Flavor.
Sorry. Bad Boy, Dum Dum,
Okay.
Peekaboo, Red Flavor.
Yeah, Red Flavor is up there too.
If I had to pick my favorite Red Velvet song is still Peekaboo, I think. And then the other ones I really like, Bad Boy, Psycho, Bargamat. So it's pretty much the same thing. Like I'm a huge Psycho person though. I think that's like top 2 for me.
Wow.
I know Warren's not as high on Psycho. We've had this discussion many times. before.
Psycho's alright, but like,
Yeah.
why listen to Psycho when there's Bad Boy? Which is like the better version of
True.
Psycho.
Okay, okay.
Like.
Yeah, so that's just some banter. I've been doing a lot of polls lately. I did the same thing with like who else's songs? I think Twice's songs at a certain point or something.
Okay.
But no, I made them condense Twice into 5 members. I've been doing really mean things like that. Or I was like pick a BTS trio. Like I've been doing really mean surveys lately. I don't know, it's just morbid curiosity. Or like give me an Eyes 1-5. Like, maybe we should do that in the future as a segment.
That's hard, but yes,
That'd be
that
kind of
would
fun,
be-
wouldn't it?
That would be
all right.
interesting.
Okay.
But yeah, how about call SojuTalk producer and we have to make decisions like that. But we are now at the end of part 1 of SojuTalk episode 151. We'll be back after a short break. 3, 2, 1.
Hello, SojuTalk Nation. This is Anita here with a quick PSA. If you would like to support SojuTalk Kpop Podcast, please like, subscribe, or follow us on whatever platform you're using. And consider joining our Patreon at patreon.com/SojuTalk or donating to us at paypal.me/SojuTalk. On behalf of the crew and myself, thank you. Now back to our regularly scheduled episode.
We are back at it with part 2 of SojuTalk episode 151, where we discuss recent K-pop news and events and give you the state of the nation and talk about some Girls Planet 999 hype. All right. News and events from last week. There wasn't much news. There's only like one sort of big topic. I've heard whispers of this one for a while, but there's finally been some more formal reporting about it. So CJ and Kakao are reportedly competing to acquire Isuman's stake in SM Entertainment.
What?
A source from the financial investment industry stated, quote, Isuman has been showing a desire to take his hands off of SM Entertainment. Currently, Isuman holds approximately 18.73% of the shares of SM Entertainment, making him the company's largest shareholder. It is believed that whoever acquires his share will be gaining SM Entertainment's management rights, so all the decision making.
Oh my.
Kakao Entertainment, which is currently the most likely to acquire the shares, reportedly proposed to acquire SM Entertainment and its managing rights at a value of more than 2.5 trillion won, which is around $2.2 billion.
Oh my god.
Much of the discussion is between Isuman and Kim Bum-soo, Kakao Entertainment's chairman and largest shareholder. So direct communication. CJ is considered a dark horse that can threaten Kakao Entertainment's opportunity to acquire SM Entertainment. It has been reported that CJ's vice chairman, Lee Mi-kyung, has decided to return to Korea to meet with Isuman directly.
Oh my god.
Wow.
And then this one's the one we heard about a while ago. Previously, HYBE offered SM Entertainment a higher amount than Kakao to buy SM, but the deal was reportedly not successful as Isuman personally rejected the proposal.
Ooh.
Personal rejection, my goodness.
So he was like, they offered 3 trillion won, and he's like, nah, fam, we're good. Because
Wow.
it's a lot of things to unpack here, right?
Yeah.
Number one, Isuman's kind of getting old, kind of wants to cash out, right?
Understandable.
Understandable if you're getting $2 billion, even after tax,
Yeah,
it's
he's
like
set.
over $1 billion.
Man.
He's been
Yeah.
set for a while.
That if he loses the management stake of SM, that is a big deal for K-pop, right?
Oh yeah.
It's a massive deal. And then we got one of the Korean mega companies, CJ Kakao, massive companies are trying to buy it. Kind of crazy, right?
Who do you guys think is gonna win, Kakao or CJ?
I hope Kakao wins.
I feel like it's more likely because I assume that these personal meetings and discussions, right, directly with him and the possible buyers, is to get a feel of what would happen to the company in the future. I'm guessing, like, what would be management after that. So I feel like Kakao, I don't know. I'm not too well informed as to their management, but I get a feel that it's not too different than what SM is doing right now. So maybe that's what is in line.
How do you feel as the Korean in the room probably is the most knowledge of these companies, Warren?
I mean, okay, we're talking about Kakao Entertainment and CJ ENM, which are considered the two biggest conglomerates in terms of the entertainment industry nowadays.
Yep.
Sure, SM is big. Yes, Hybe is big, but not to the size of Kakao and CJ. We're talking about literal companies that are like as influential as Facebook or Google in Korea, right?
Yeah, everywhere. They're everywhere.
Right. These are like the tier right below Samsung, and Samsung is the only group in its tier. Personally speaking, I don't know. I'm not a fan of the way these companies run their entertainment labels, both CJ and Kakao. CJ has a thing with like, buying something out, investing nothing into it, sucking out all the juices, and then throwing it away. They have a bad habit of doing that. They've been doing it for 20 years. Kakao Entertainment, on the other hand, you know what? Maybe they're a little better, but I'm not a big fan of Melon. Also not a big fan of the fact that they don't have that much of a good portfolio to begin with other than IU, but IU is
That's
IU,
true.
right? Kakao's, IU's not like a complete 100% embodiment of like Kakao and IU, right? They're not.
I would
like,
say the biggest entity other than like IU and her thing is probably Starship, because they do have Starship now.
Right.
Yeah, so those are the two big players for them.
Personally speaking, I feel like it would be a better idea for SM to go under Kakao. Personally speaking, right? Because we also have to consider, as a consumer, you have to get concerned about, like monopolization and stuff like that.
Yep.
We want to make sure everyone has about the same portfolio. Hybe is set. CJ, they have plenty of things under their like management, which I don't think they need more. Kakao, they've been kind of ramping stuff up the past 5 or so years. If SM goes under Kakao, that would be obviously incredibly influential, but at the same time, I think it would be a lot less monopolization compared to SM going under CJ. Personally,
Here's the thing with CJ though. If they go under CJ, the visibility wise on TV and stuff,
It's everywhere,
nuts, right? Like they run Mnet, right? They could probably make an SM TV channel, if they wanted to, with just SM content all day. Like,
see, that's the interesting thing, right? Because that means they're gonna cut ties with network TV.
Probably they might.
I don't think they would though. I don't think they would.
That being said,
That's not up to them.
that being said, like, Isuman's getting kind of old. What I'm curious about is, they were talking about all this SM cultural universe, this SM stuff, technology stuff. Like, just feels like the wrong time after they've been making these big, bold ass statements the last couple of years, right?
Yeah.
I feel like you got to see that through first, because if all that stuff he's talking about does work, the company's probably worth way more money, right?
Or maybe
he knows, right?
Right, he's just writing a wish list. He's like, whoever takes lead, he should do all these things, not me.
Maybe he's like, every time I say Kwangya, the company goes up $500 million. Yeah, and then the footnote where Hybe offered something and then Isuman said no. from the Isuman standpoint, I could see why. You know, like that's like a direct competitor, right? Whereas CJ and Kakao are like they're competitors, but it's a different thing, right?
Yeah.
I think that's probably not even like he doesn't like. It's more of a pride thing for him, if I had to guess. You know.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think there's an amount of money where another specific agency could give him where he would accept it just off of pride. Like,
it would look bad. It would just look bad. Yeah.
Right.
You know, I don't know if this is even gonna happen. You know, it's in the news. It'd be really interesting if it did, though. If it did happen, it's probably one of the biggest news stories of the year, right?
I feel like there's been so many shifts in the industry the past like 2 or so years. It's
possible.
I feel like it could happen.
Wow.
It's a new generation, boys and girls. A new world.
End of an era, though.
A new dimension. Yeah. We're in the Gwangya, people. Open your eyes.
Industrial Revolution.
Black Mamba.
All right. You know, we normally do show and tell with the news topics. Not that many this week, so we just gonna skip Anita. Warren, what news topics did you bring this week?
Well, you know, with Girls Planet 999 starting up, I was like, what are their sunbeds up to? You know, we have a thing called catching up at the Eyes Ones. You know,
okay.
We got some news about 2 of the former members of Eyes One. First, we have Eunbi's solo debut confirmed for August 24th, coming out of Wolum Entertainment as a solo artist. That's pretty cool. He's got a solo debut coming out.
That's like, it happened shockingly quickly. In my opinion. I remember
pretty much
3 weeks ago, I was like, she kind of mentioned it on a V Live or something, right? And then the week later, it was like, well, it's kind of confirmed now. And then a week later, it's like, well, we got the date and it's in like 3 weeks. Like, it's like all of a sudden, fam, they just popping it out. Interesting. I know Warren likes Wolum, but like on a Doug standpoint, I mean, I don't have the most confidence in the world in them as a company. Just saying.
Sir,
I'm excited though.
Your head is full of poo poo. That's I'm looking at your hat right now, quite literally speaking.
The reason why I'm excited is because this could be big, right? You know, whatever happens with her solo, it will be 100% directly compared to Chungha and Somi, though.
I was thinking about that, yeah.
And like I wouldn't say like some people would also say Soyeon, but I consider Soyeon different because she's hustling with G Idol first and then doing the solo bit, right?
Right.
Whereas Somi, Chungha, Produce alums, IOI alums, you know, it's the same type of realm, right? This is the major solo move. Also, a lot of significance. This is the first post Eyes One music thing we're getting, right?
Yep.
Right.
I'm really excited for this because I think this could be anywhere from alright to like really, really good. So I'm pretty hyped for this.
I just hope she's, like decently successful, like she's got a good base to begin off of with the fans.
She's popular,
She's popular. She's big, she's big in Japan. She's big in Korea. Like there's lots of, fans to begin with. So, all right, moving on. We got Eunbi, but hey, what is Jo Yuri up to? She's officially announced as the joiner of the Wake One Entertainment. This is formerly known as MMO Entertainment. It's under CJ. This is also the label that former Stone Music Entertainment artists have kind of fallen into, as Off the Record being some sort of subsidiary under Wake One Entertainment.
A lot of nesting within other things for the whole CJ label situation, right?
Yeah.
I don't think this is much. Like, I'm happy that they posted an official profile photo and such, but like,
hey, her career isn't over. The fire is still alive. I've gotta put some oxygen into it.
What I'm hoping is Eunbi solo goes well, right? CJ sees this and they're like, all right, the Eyes One girls are viable. Let's do a solo with Yuri real quick.
That's you wanted to go solo?
I mean, I don't think there's anything else for her to do considering the company she's in, unless they somehow make a group out of like other ex-alumni of other competition shows CJ's held, which I don't think makes sense. So like, what else can you do with her, right?
There's not really a group she can join either, except like Fromis 9. You gonna put her there?
Oh, I don't think she's gonna join that.
That would make zero sense.
That would be awful. Don't do that.
No.
Huh. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I'm excited for UD2, but like with this one, until they actually announce something with music, you just gotta wait, and it sucks, you know.
I don't know about you. I'm just glad she's alive. That's all I want. You know?
Yeah, there's been a lot of radio silence from a lot of the kids lately. Just saying. All right, other news though. Twice has begun to tease their first full English single, "The Feels," on SNS with the prom concept.
Ooh.
You know, the Feels.
Prom season is over.
Yeah. Well, the Feels will be released on a Friday in September. They haven't told us the date yet. It's just gonna be some Friday in September.
4 Fridays to choose.
I'm a little bit concerned. I'm just saying.
Really?
Why?
I'm excited, but I'm nervous excited.
Why are you nervous excited? Why are you concerned?
Well, you know, there was this alcohol joint earlier in the year.
Okay, their discography is fine. Maybe it was a bump in the road.
Here's the thing. Based on the last couple of years, we got More and More, which is a bit of a weird track for them too, right? We had the alcohol song, but I Can't Stop Me was really good, right?
Yeah.
They could go a ton of directions with this. I wonder what it's gonna sound like. What genre they will pick.
Probably
If I can-
retro.
Sorry, go on, Nita.
I'm just
Right.
thinking prom. That's
Yeah.
been the thing right now, I guess.
I feel like this is gonna be a high teen, you know,
Yeah.
like a little bit of synthwave, but like kind of like Mean Girls vibe, kind of like what we got with Somi last week.
Yes.
Kind of like what we got with Sunmi
That's
this
just-
week.
Trendy right now, I guess.
Yeah.
Can I talk about Somi real quick? I had an observation
Yes,
when I was
yes.
listening / watching Dum Dum and all of the TikToks about it.
Okay. What's up?
If you remember when we talked about What You Waiting For, which was her last release, right? We talked about how there's no horizontal movement, right?
Yeah.
Right.
This Dum Dum song also has in the chorus 0 horizontal movement, just so that they can make TikToks about it.
I have seen a lot of them, yes.
I'm like,
They're out
all
there.
right, I the only point I wanted to make is like, I'm not a fan. How about we release the Somi, let her move to the left and to the right? She can live in 2 dimensions, not just front, you know, front and back, you know. I don't know, just an observation.
Call me crazy. I feel like Somi's closer to like a social media influencer at this point.
Oh.
I kind of agree with you.
Like,
Yeah.
are we gonna call her an artist or are we gonna call her a social media person? You know, like.
Well, we had the same discussions about Blackpink before the album too, right?
I mean,
Ooh.
okay, Blackpink has an album now. They have an LP.
Somi album. When?
Somi album.
Somi has 4 songs in her discography, and she's debuted like 2 years ago. That's like 2 songs a year.
All right. Next news. Mamamoo's Wheein has reportedly decided to sign an exclusive contract with Ravi's new label, The Live. Contrary to, how do I pronounce this? Grooveline, right?
Grooveline.
Grooveline. His hip hop label, founded in 2019, The Live will focus on promoting artists and idols like a regular entertainment company. So basically, he's like, Grooveline is hip hop, The Live is K-pop. That's basically what he's saying.
Like it.
Last week, it was also reported that Ailey was the first artist to join the label. So, picked
Oh.
up Ailey, picked up Wheein, back to back.
Vocalist.
Wow.
Strong vocalist.
You know, Ravi, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
For what group was he in? VIX? Is that
Yep.
right?
Vix.
All right. Considering he's from VIX, that man has been so successful for like. If you had trajected a single member of VIX to be this successful, have 2 companies, 2 labels, like by now, I would have not have predicted it. But the man is making mogul
yeah.
moves. He's on Ilbakil, which is one of the most beloved Korean variety shows every week. Like, he's doing really well. Like,
Yep.
he also had dating rumors with Taeyeon last week. Last year.
That happened?
That's,
Oh.
Yeah, there was dating rumors with Taeyeon. That's a W in itself, right? Like, like man is living his best life. You know, like.
I mean, he's hustling, I guess. Yeah.
Anita, you sound unhappy about that.
Well, I just remembered stuff that happened about commentary regarding Red Velvet, and that was a little.
Oh yeah, okay. He
Oh,
had,
that
he,
happened too,
he
yeah.
had the sus lyrics about Red
little
Velvet.
sus.
Also, he hasn't been in the military yet, so that's gonna be a little awkward. He's 28. He got to go in
Oh,
like the
yeah,
next year.
aggressive.
It's a little awkward.
I just hope he's not biting off more than he can chew.
True.
You know,
Yeah.
True.
he's got a lot on his plate, and maybe he can do it all. But like, you know, we'll see.
yeah. So Ravi. Next, Stacy will be joining Weverse on August 9th. That's kind of cool.
Nice.
Pre-registration for Superstars ATs began on August 5th. Anita, you might want to play that mobile game. And then lastly, in sad COVID news, EXO Schumann tested positive for COVID this week. So,
Oh no.
everyone stay safe. I think
Yes.
the CDC in America is now recommending masks again in indoor places
Yep.
as well. The quicker everyone gets vaccines, we can and follows the rules, we can kind of get out of this quicker. Just saying. I don't know. All right.
Do it.
Announced comebacks. T1419 August 23rd, Brave Girls August 23rd, Mire August 25th, Unbi Solo August 23rd, B2B in August, and Stacy September, y'all. It's happening.
Stacy girls.
Nice.
All right. State of the Nation.
Oh boy.
Here we go.
At this
Oh,
point, we're going to start our large discussion. I feel like we're going to talk about this for a long time. About Girls Planet 999, aka Produce Season 5, which is CJ's slash Snake Net's new competition variety show. If you are not watching it, I highly suggest you watch it. I thought episode 1 was a lot of fun. I love these competition shows. They're a guilty pleasure because they're probably rigged with evil editing, but at the same time, I gotta keep watching. And they titled episode 1 Contact was the episode title.
First contact.
First contact.
All right, first of all, let's talk about some differences between Girls Planet 999 and traditional Produce. The first thing that was really apparent to me, they didn't mention anyone's agency, at all.
But they are, right?
Yeah,
I feel like they must
almost
be.
all the kids are in companies.
Yeah.
But traditionally in Produce, also spoilers for everything.
Yes,
just
the
saying.
whole episode.
Whole episode. We're gonna talk about it all. So normally on traditional Produce, the first kids walk in, they show their company logo. They walk in, you're like, oh, those are the Starship kids. They gotta be good. Or oh, that person's from a Nugu company. Who the hell are they, right?
Right.
None of that this year. How do we feel about that?
Very
pretty
much
obvious, right?
a tactic. Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's pretty obvious what they're doing. They got some fire with the previous stuff, so they're like, "Nah, we gonna hide it this time."
All right, number two thing that they did. They brought in one Chinese kid, one Japanese kid, one Korean kid together and put them in cells
Yeah.
based around some theme. Like kids who almost debuted together was one.
Something in common. Yeah.
Kids who've released an album. Kids who have the favorite biases. So one group of kids was kids who like Twice.
Yeah.
Okay, it was awkward. It was a little awkward. I mean, in any situation, you throw kids together, it's gonna be hella awkward, right?
Plus the language barrier. So.
Yeah, you're like juggling 3 languages. They did one smart thing. They made the Korean kids sit in the middle because it's most likely that the kids from China and Japan like K-pop, so they know some Korean. So they did that on purpose. One of the cells I thought was really overpowered. 2 of them. Number 1, they put all the number 1 kids together, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Number 2, they had Yujin next to Rhoda, also known as Zhu Yiyin, who I've known from Youth With You, another competition show. That group is already stacked out of its mind. But talking about those rankings, they did pre-ranking before the audition round, right?
Yes.
And what I initially thought that they did these pre-rankings based on the audition tapes, but no. It was based on an evaluation of the title song that they had to learn. I kind of like this because it's a fair playing field because it's not like anyone knew the title song coming in. So they all had an equal amount of time to learn the title song, perform it, and then they got ranked off of it. So they basically got rid of the thing that normally happens second on Produce. They got rid of that whole thing.
I am actually quite glad because I think that saves a lot of time. And I don't know, I feel like sometimes it drags on. With all the Produce seasons, I feel like sometimes it's cool to see who improves, who moves up, who goes to the A rank or not, who drops down. But I think I was glad not to see as much of it.
You know the interesting thing? If they did this on Produce 48, if you remember, Joyuri completely forgot all the lyrics and she got put an F on the second evaluation.
Oh, yeah.
She would have been rated like K30, K32.
Yeah.
That's just some food for thought. So there are kids who are in the wrong spot based on just one performance. and talking about those letter grades, they got rid of them, right? So
The letters.
So what they do is they bring all the kids into the room. They want them to audition. They bring them up on the stage in groups or whatever. They show the ranks on the screen, right? They're like, oh, this group is with C1, which is the best Chinese kid, C13, C14, C30. So we got 2 intermediate kids, 1 really good kid, 1 supposedly bad kid. And then they make them show you what their rankings are. That's like in school when the teacher hands back tests and if you had to read out what grade you got. I honestly was a little like apprehensive about that concept, but now that I think about it, I love how they set expectations before they went. I thought that was really cool. Where I saw someone who's like a low number and I'm like, this kid has to be good. I want to see if they're good. Or if they're a bad number and they did well, I'm like, well, why were they so low?
There were a lot of moments where like, oh, like this person's only 20. Oh, this person's 17. They must not be good. And I was like, man, this person's good. You know, like
Yeah, surprising.
Yeah, I like that. It added like, it gave you more information before they
Right.
started performing, which I thought was a really smart idea, actually. Anita, how are your feelings about that?
I mean, I feel like for the most part, the numbers made sense, but there were, I think sometimes the lower ones did way better than I expected, and then the higher ones didn't quite live up to that expectation. And I don't know
Right.
if that's just because I don't know, maybe the what is it, the theme song evaluation was I don't know, a little bit easier for them, where they did really well in, but in the actual like performance in front of the judges and the contestants, I don't know, maybe they got nervous. I don't know. I felt like there was really good and really bad based on the numbers, and that expectation kind of made it good or bad. So I don't know. It helped others and it made it bad for others.
I mean, it's a double-edged sword because
Yeah.
if you're a high number, I mean a low number, which means you're good and you do well, it just cements how good you are, right? Mm-hmm. But at the same time, if you're a low number and you just are average, you're like, well, why the hell was this kid like ranked 2, right?
Yeah.
All right, let's go through some performances. First one we got, well, overall with all these performances, they chose really recent songs for almost all of them.
yeah.
That's
Yes. Yeah,
really
yeah.
different than what normally happens. And they all did really K-poppy songs, which sometimes doesn't happen as well. I like that because this is a K-pop song. Do a K-pop song. I think that makes a lot of sense. First one we had was Rumor, right?
Rumor.
The only kid that stood out to me, right, was Shen Zhaoting, who is China 1, right?
Yes. Top ranks of the Chinese.
That girl lived up to all my expectations. Like,
Okay. Yes. Yes.
no, okay, Anita, apprehension. Why? How do you? Why do you feel that way?
I feel like she definitely stood out in her group. And I think looking at the rankings of the rest of her group members, she was also in the group with the lowest. So C33 was in her group,
Yeah.
right? So I feel like that kind of makes her also stand out more.
She got the mom edit. I'm
She
helping
did.
this person. She got the
The
good edit
leader.
there. She
Yes,
got a good
yes.
edit. So instantly you could tell CJ wants to push her, right?
Yeah. And I mean, it makes sense. And I think she is talented dance-wise, for sure. She kind of revealed her ballroom dancing background as well. I feel like we still haven't seen a lot of vocal-wise. She did a bit of the rap part for Rumor, but I don't know vocal-wise. Like, can she sing? How high is her range? Because, I mean, in a group of 9, which is going to be like the final group, the top 9, I feel like she should be able to do both, but I don't think we really showcased that. So, yes, her skill level was pretty good, and I can see why she was C1, but
I'm
I
gonna
think there's
assume
more to
she can
show.
sing because the title song is a singing song. You know what I mean? Like the theme song is a singing song, so she has to be good at singing to get C1.
But I do wonder why she didn't showcase it in her performance then.
Right. I mean, sure, whatever they did with whatever, that's fine. I just didn't see it in Rumor, right? Like, I think
Yeah.
performance-wise, it was great. But, like, I agree with Anita. Like, vocals-wise, it was kind of very lackluster, not gonna lie.
Oh well, yeah.
Still
for
waiting
sure.
for it.
Everyone, for sure. Everyone else in this group was like,
Oh, some of these people were like, you shouldn't be here, fam. Like,
Ooh.
all right.
I mean, like,
second song, which also had some vocal oofs, was Fancy. and
Oh yeah.
there was one girl that got pushed to the moon with this song, right?
Yeah.
Kawaguchi Yurina. I'm trying to decide if this girl's the new Bias. That's how well I thought she did.
Already.
You know what? Good face. Really good face. Also,
former actress or current actress.
also,
right?
they gave her the best color out of the 5 colors the kids were wearing. She really stood out too in that sense, I thought. Yeah, she was Japan 9, J9.
Pretty good.
If you think
see
about
why.
J9 is like supposed to be like 33 percentile. She did better than that. I mean 66 percentile. She did way better than that in my opinion. I thought she was good. I saw some people saying like you only thought she was really good because everyone else was so bad in this group.
I mean that is also an argument to be made.
I saw a lot of people writing that.
See, isn't that strategy though? You know,
Yeah.
maybe that's what she planned. Maybe she purposefully picked out people she thought was so that she can stand out as good. You know.
But that girl did well though, relative to like she was good.
I was also like
That's
really
just what I said.
impressed by like her vocal tone, like how stable she was. Considering that it doesn't seem like she has a ton of experience like singing or dancing or performing.
She's
'Cause
independent too.
Yeah, because she acts. She's an actress in Japan apparently. So having that, like, not really being in the spotlight and performing and coming in like this, I could see a lot of potential. So I'm excited. She's one of the ones that I'm looking forward to performing next time.
All right, next one we had Black Mamba. These were some like low ranked kids, but I thought some of the kids did well.
Yeah.
Warren wanted to point some of them out, right? There was I think he liked Kim Chae-hyun. You mentioned it before the show started, who was K23.
Yeah, I feel like they were pretty solid. And I was like, these were the people where I was like, oh, she's only 23, maybe she's not going to be good. And then I see the performance, and I'm like, oh,
Also,
Yeah, she's
that
good.
was solid. That was nice.
there was another girl in here who was K30 who also did well. Like I was like, how is this girl number
Yeah.
30? Her name was
Yeah.
An Jung Min.
She made it to top 9 candidate.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, so if you're listening at home, instead of giving out the rankings, they basically just determine are you a top 9 candidate or not. Real simple.
Right.
Are you good or no? That's basically what they were doing. Yeah, Black Mamba was good. It was good, but I think they gave the right kids the candidacy for top 9. But at the same time, once we saw a lot of the performances, everything that day, I was like, all right, these kids were good, but it wasn't the most memorable thing for me on the show.
I mean, we're gonna get to it as to like, do we agree with the top 9 recommendations or not?
Oh, okay, there's one song where I think they
Yeah.
messed up completely.
Yeah, it will come up. It will come up. But
We'll talk about it when it comes up.
yeah, but I personally felt that the 3 that performed the songs, the Black Mamba song from aespa, I felt like the vocals were pretty good. Yes, there was a little hiccup in a high note, but I honestly feel like she would have done it any other performance. I feel like she could have done that high note. I don't think it was like a matter of skill. I think it might have been nerves. So I don't know. I feel like I felt a little bad for this performance because I definitely thought they did well, and I don't know if it was like comparisons coming in and like the rankings also affecting the recommendations, but I don't know. I wish they were.
Here's
up
the
there.
thing, though. You mess up a high note, you're not getting candidacy. Period. At least that's how I feel about it.
That's
Like,
fair. That's fair.
I think
Yeah.
you that's the role you were given. If you don't hit the note, I don't think you should get candidacy. That's how I honestly feel about these type of auditions. Next one we had Kick It. There was this girl, So Young-eun, who has the crazy eyes once they start performing. The stuff they were talking about beforehand was really cringy. I'm gonna be real here. But
She was doing a lot of things.
she's trying too hard. I'll be
Yes.
straight up. But once they started performing, she destroyed that song. She hit a home run. I thought she was really good, stood out a ton. But man, it was hard to overlook some of the crazy stuff she was doing beforehand.
I will admit, like there was some things she was doing with her vocals that are like very annoying to me. Like she was like
Ooh.
wrestler, like she was like doing stuff like that, and I was like, I don't like that, Like you
I mean,
probably
you
didn't
don't-
like it when you just listened to me do it. Like
You don't like Sungi's dum dum dance thing too.
oh, that is not good. Oh
It's
man,
the same type of
No.
deal.
Oh man,
But I thought that girl did well. Pretty notable. I think the for me, like I think the Korean kids did the worst in episode 1 out of the things we've seen.
Really?
Yeah,
Really?
I thought by far. I thought I was most whelmed by the Koreans. But next, go on.
No, we talked about this briefly, but I feel like vocal-wise, the Koreans were the most solid. And then dance-wise,
Yes.
the Chinese people were the most solid. And the Japanese kids were like kind of well-rounded, which was kind of
All
surprising.
right, the way I'll put it for me, right?
Okay,
I thought that China had the lowest of lows and the highest and some big highs, right? I think Japan, the high end was crazy good, right? And I think Korea on average was like the best, but there were very few Korean kids where I felt like the X Factor came out.
Stood out.
You know what I mean? Like
Okay.
there was kids from the Chinese kids and there was specifically the Japanese high tier kids. Some kids you're like, this is a star right here on the stage in front of us. So the next two songs, I'm just going to talk about them together because you had J2 and J1 with Dumdi Dumdi was Sakamoto Mashiro stood out a lot. And then in Boombaya, Ezuka Hikaru was, I think, the star of episode 1, in my opinion. Those two girls, I think, did really well.
Yes. Especially, I wanna point out Mashiro because her storyline right in the show was that she was a former JYP trainee and like she was with ITZY girls training days. You know.
Yeah, that B-roll footage was a little sad.
Yeah, I was so surprised because I didn't know that, and I feel like, oh my god, you've been training for so long and trying this again. I definitely feel like she has the skill. Her vocals and dance super stable. I was really surprised. I did have a commentary, and I kind of noticed it during the performance, is that her facial expressions
Not good.
super stiff, and I don't know if it was she was nervous or something. But I feel like she could have done a little bit more because her partner, they did a duo. I thought she was having fun and smiling, and I feel like, I feel like Mashida should do that too.
We got to
She did
unlock
it.
the face, and then we have she's a face away from the facial expressions. She has a good face.
Yes.
She's facial expressions away from being a star, I thought.
Yes, that's the only thing I would comment on.
I do feel like it was kind of worse because like the girl next to her, Nagomi,
was
had like
emoting so much.
Yes.
there was such a big smile on her face. I was like,
Yeah.
you got a big mouth, you girl. Like it's big smile, big mouth, whatever. But
So, she was really like smiling and like making eye contact. I feel like she was just a little bit more relaxed, I guess, or like trying to act very cheerful. Whereas in comparison next to her, Mashiro was like super focused, I think. And if she could have relaxed a little bit more, and honestly, it might just be nerves, like first time performing in front of the judges and all that. But yeah, that was the only thing. But still, I see why she's J2 for sure.
Yeah, and then let's move on to Hellbaya. What could have been Hellbaya,
But was
right?
not.
King Baya apparently.
King Baya.
They totally redeemed that song on producers. Like,
yeah.
oh my god, they did the whole Hikaru storyline. So she has a really friendly edit, right? She's J1, and then she comes out here and just destroys the song, right? Like, and then the swagger off this girl the entire time. You're like, all right, this girl is really good. She knows she's really good, and she's gonna perform really well. Like, it was crazy.
Her pronunciation is like super solid too. Like
Yes.
there was
So
a clip.
clear.
There was a pre-audition clip of her doing Super Biwa by Super B and BY, which, if you don't know who those two are, they had a song full of like tongue twisty like verses, and it is like difficult for a Korean person to do. And like a Japanese
Yeah.
girl walks in and she's like killing the entire verse, just left and right. I was like, girl, you go, man. Like, dang, that was fire.
Once I saw her do that song, it hit me that if you were a Korean trainee, right? So I'm talking about the Chinese contestants and the Japanese contestants. If you were a trainee and you know Korean, right? Or if you're just a big K-pop fan and learn Korean, right? You have such a big advantage on the show relative to the other kids.
Language-wise.
Language-wise,
Yeah.
I think plays a big part because they did talk about some of the kids' diction and things like that. Like, I think it makes a huge difference.
You're building a K-pop group, so gotta do it.
All right, let's move on to the next one. We had pop stars, right? So right after the really good Japanese kids went, right? We got J2, J1. We got Pop Stars, which is by KDA. They had K1, K2, K19. So I was expecting a lot from this song, right? It was good, right? I'm not saying it was bad.
Yeah,
It was
not
they
bad
did
at
well. They performed aespa like, you know, I was like, oh, this is good. They're doing aespa, but just something about it didn't give me any MSG oomph, you know? Like, I watched it and I was like, these kids are good trainees. They're solid. They know what they're doing. But the K1, K2 kid, there was nothing about it to me that made me want to be like, this is the kid. This is the best Korean kid on the show.
I mean, honestly, I feel like the talent's there. And I don't think it's undeserving that they're K1 or K2. The only thing I felt was that I feel like the song didn't help. Like they can perform it, like they did it fine, and it wasn't a bad performance at all. Like they pulled it off vocally, performance, dance wise, expression. I think maybe facial expression could have been a little better, but not terrible. So I don't know. I think it might have been the song choice, honestly.
You know what I think it is? Because I feel like, not gonna lie, number K1, K2, Daeyeon and Yeong, they were great. They were fine.
Yeah.
They were great vocalists, great choreographers. Dancers. But you know what they were missing? They were missing the thing Sunmi was talking about: G, power, force.
That's what I'm
energy.
saying. It's that you know how like we were talking about it. They were missing it, right?
Yeah, and like the Kim Soo-yeon girl who had like dyed hair and she was like very white,
She stood
pale
out.
face.
Yeah.
She was good, and like
No,
my
she had
eyes
it.
were on her.
No, yeah, she had it. Yeah, she had it. Yeah. Even though she was way lower ranked than the other two kids, I was like, well, this is the star out of these three. Like, it was very evident to me. I'm like, maybe we got to train her up more, but like, there is something with K-pop kids where like, you can be trained up so much, right? Like, you could perfect all the movements, know what to do. But there's just something about certain K-pop idols where you're like, this is the kid, you know? Like, we could build a group around this kid.
It's presence, stage presence.
You know what it is?
What is it, Warren?
It's the camel pants. It's the Rothko.
Okay, she got the best color pants too out of those three.
Yeah.
Because
Who wears those anymore? Let's stop. That's like
It's been a while.
it's been a while, guys.
they kind of look like a look like Yeji would wear. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah,
or like
yeah.
Momo in Uahage. That's the kind of vibes I was getting. Right?
6 years ago.
I'll do the throwback. All right. Next performance was crazy. The mentors were crazy on like evaluating this one.
Yeah.
I don't know how you gave all 4 of those kids candidacy. I don't know how you do it.
Also considering, I want to say there's no bias here, but this was the group with the youngest Korean members, right? So these was comprised of the babies, right? They were called baby monsters. And I feel like I see the appeal. They're very young and they're very talented for their age, and they did the song fine. But I don't think they evaluated them in the same way they evaluated the others, considering they gave all of them top 9 recommendation.
In my opinion, out of those 4 kids, there was one girl, Kang Ye-seo, who's K13, who's a former member of Busters, which is a bit of a new K-pop girl group. I thought she was the only one who was like borderline based on her dancing that we might give candidacy to, but the rest of the kids, I was like, I just can't. And then they were like, you get a candidacy and you get a candidacy, right? And I was like, we handing this crap out like Halloween candy right now. What are we doing here?
They are kids,
I just don't know. I just don't know how you could do that. To be honest, I had no that was the biggest shocker of the whole. The number one thing that didn't make sense to me was that.
I wonder though. I feel like the mentors, like the masters, right, as they're called. I wonder if they're doing more of like who has like the potential, like Sunmi said, like the energy, the aura of it. Right? And I guess they're young, so you can see more potential. You can see more way to teach them and have more of it, even as they are right now. But I just feel like it felt a little off. It felt a little off that all of them got it, considering the other performances that you saw in the show and that they didn't give recommendations to some of them.
To play the devil's advocate a little bit for the sake of conversation, I think it also might have been the biggest takeaway for me from this performance was that they chose an awful song to perform.
Ooh.
And they could have chosen something else that could have like showcased their or talent a little better. Maybe that's what, and like maybe that's where they were like, oh, like, you know, if they had chosen a different song, they could have worked out, or maybe something else. I don't know, but like I do feel like I would have agreed a lot more with the judges, if they had chosen a different song where we could see a better, you know, showcase of abilities in terms of like vocals or singing, or, you know, even dancing.
To be honest,
I don't know if that was like the best, but yeah. What's up?
I feel like I'm thinking about the song choice now, and I feel like maybe the song choice didn't actually like showcase a ton of their talent, like individually, I guess, but it definitely made them memorable as far as a group because it kind of goes against their theming, right? Like baby, like the youngest, like they might have expected them like, oh, they might do something more cute, more youthful, but then they decided to do this song. So I feel like maybe that was the impact of like the song choice, and then they actually did pretty well, but it wasn't actually like that the skill was reflected in that performance. It was more like they chose the good song to make a good impression.
I don't know. Personally speaking, you know, them choosing Crazy, you know, because that is the opposite of what they would do or should do, was the more cliche things they could have chosen to do. I mean, come on, that's like if someone says they're gonna subvert your expectations, that's the first thing you're gonna think about, right? Like, you know, if they had them pop stars or something else, I don't know, like that could have been different. Who knows? But
yeah, it just feels like the mentor stretched with that choice. Like,
yeah.
All right, let's move on to the. They wanted some comedy before the show ended. This episode, right? They brought on these two twins who did Hungchipunya, also known as Humph, dumpster fire, but I found it endearing. I thought it was an endearing dumpster fire.
So
Anita agrees with that. Warren was like, hell no, get them off of the show, right?
You know what? No, I've changed my mind.
Okay.
There you go.
Why don't we debut and it's just the two of them?
Hey, I'm down.
Just the two of them. No, nobody else. No Fuyaning, no Kang Yeso, just the two of them.
All right,
honestly,
let's be real here. They're gonna get eliminated on the first elimination.
But okay, I hope that I really hope that they can improve a little bit more because I don't want to see them go off the show.
Separate the twins.
Yeah, no, don't separate them.
Separate them.
They're like 31, 32. but I don't know. I really like their dynamic as siblings, and I thought it made me sad, but also kind of like made me laugh a little bit how they had this thing in their performance where like one of them was going a little too early in the turn in the choreo, and then in the practice, one of them started crying because she couldn't get it right. It was I don't know, it was endearing, and I feel
their
like
names are Liang Chao and Liang Zhao. So very similar names still.
Yes, I don't know. It was so cute.
You know what would be really, really funny?
What?
If one of them makes it and the other one doesn't.
No, that would break my heart.
It could happen. I've seen things like that happen on these shows before.
No.
You never know what's gonna happen.
I saw one of these shows where they were passing kids, and there was like 3 kids who came as a group, and only one of them went through, and they sent the other 2 kids home.
God.
Like, I've seen it. It happens.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm excited to see, like, also their backstory where they had to come to Korea for quarantine. It's like the longest they've ever been apart or something.
Yeah.
It was 14 days. Like,
Oh my goodness.
things like that. I thought it was hilarious. Twin dynamics. All right. We had the final thing. They were saving the heat for the end, right?
boy.
Big scandalous
Who would have
drama.
thought that all of a sudden Girls Planet 999 would turn into a steakhouse with all that beef going on in that show? Oh my
But
God.
is it
Goddamn.
actually beef?
All right, it's contrived beef. All right, so there was a performance. An aggressive helicopter came in, real hot, right? The moment that everyone's talking about was when Fu Yaning talked a little bit of shit to CLC's Yujin, right? Who's beloved in the K-pop community. She basically said like she copied the lyrics. We go up, and at a certain point said, "But you don't." Like, oh, I was like, oh, spice.
Isn't that spicy though?
Okay.
Like, I don't think her actually.
Hey,
her wording was
she's
actually
being
spicy.
canceled on Twitter and YouTube right now. Like,
Oh boy.
she's being canceled right now. So she's C9, right? I mean C7. She's been on, I think she was on Youth With You was where I saw her. She was on Youth With You or Chuang, so she's a Youth With You, right? So she's been on one of these shows. Even coming into the show, she had a little bit of controversy because there was clips of her covering a rap song where she said the N-word at some point.
No.
Oh, man.
Yeah, so she dropped one of those. She apologized for that though. It is what it is. So the big topic of conversation is what she did. Was it rude? Right? Was it editing / baiting? How do we feel about it? From my perspective, I'm gonna say it was a bit rude. I don't think you should say that. Particularly because you're on a Korean show where the Korean social standards generally are the ones that are gonna fly, right? People are talking about sunbae, hubei relationships, that kind of thing.
Oh yeah.
Let me play some devil's advocate here, though. I have watched many a Chinese competition show, right? They are way more aggressive and combative with their contestants than the Korean shows. Some shows even have kids like one-on-one battle each other, calling each other out, things like that. Like some minor dissing is allowed on some of these shows I've watched.
Okay.
And what she said honestly wasn't that spicy. Like,
It really wasn't.
I think I think the fact that she said she's going to outdo the original artist is more offensive than saying we go up and you don't. Like, honestly.
It was personally, I feel like it was more of the attitude that
Yeah.
Yeah.
She gave off bad vibes. Even when the mentor after the fact was talking to her. Like,
The dance mentor.
yeah, and then she's like, I did this to hype up my teammates, and all your teammates were like, what? Like, were really nervous after she said all this crap, right? Like,
the entire time, like I was looking at her face, like during the performance, during like when people were talking, she had like a whole like face going on. She was like, her jaw was out, and I was like what? Like, can you like look at people
the ironic
normally?
thing was she was the one who was crying after Sunmi and Tiffany came out. Like,
Oh,
she
yeah.
was so happy they were there. So I don't know what's going on. I also want to say though, I think that Mnet edited the crap out of the interaction, and also the way they asked her these questions. They probably approved of her doing helicopter stuff. It's such baiting too. They knew what was gonna happen.
They knew. They prepared for it.
They prepared this.
Here's the thing, Mnet obviously wanted it, and that's why
Yeah.
they made it happen. But at the same time, there were several points along the way where Fu Yaning could have been like, maybe I can word things a little more politely or something like that. And for me personally, I don't know how they do it in China. I don't know how they do it in Japan. But, there are several other ways of saying we're going to be better than you without, making it come off as like you're awful,
Yeah.
It's also one of those things because number one, people who know of CLC like Yujin, right? Because like her Yujin's vibes isn't someone who like you don't see Yujin getting in a fight. You look at the
No.
kid. She looks like a bunny rabbit, right? Like that's what a lot of people say, right? She has or mousy. A lot of other people say like she has a cutesy vibe. She's on the show. People already feel bad for her because she's on the show, right? Because of the whole situation with Cube, and then this girl shows up. Like day one, it just disses her, right? Like when she dissed her, everyone was shook, right? Even Tiffany and Summer were like, "Oh God, what just happened?" Right? Here's the thing. I bet you, people are like, "All right, we're gonna get a Fu Yaning redemption arc where they're gonna eventually be on the same team and they're gonna become best friends, right?" That's what people are bet is gonna happen. That being said, a little rude, right? I don't think you should have done it.
I feel like she shouldn't have done it the way she did it. Like I understand her added like trying to be fierce, right? Because they even made this thing when like, oh, we're not going to smile on stage, and like, I don't know, like you don't need to go that far, honestly. Like there's a performance, and there's also like just like being there and talking to the people, the masters, right, the judges. So I don't know. I feel like they went a little too far. Like as a group, I feel like they went a little too far in that attitude thing, and then she pushed it even more. So I don't know. I feel like it's complicated knowing that she is talented. Like seeing the
Oh, yeah.
performances.
She was the best kid in her group. for
Yeah,
sure.
seeing the performance, seeing her ranking, like I understand it, and I feel like even when the judges were kind of evaluating them, there was some sort of contradictions between the I think it was Sunmi and the dance teacher, where they were like, "Oh, you were too powerful. You should have matched the group." And then Sunmi was like, "No, I think it kind of helped lead the group and keep up the energy." So like I feel like it's a point of discussion whether you like that type of fierceness, I guess, or like appearance of fierceness in a group or not. I just feel like it wasn't necessary. She didn't have to. I feel like she could have just done her thing. And yeah, she definitely took the bait.
She took the bait so hard.
And maybe she sees it like, well, I'm getting attention, or this is a way to stand out, and I guess it's working, but it's still negative.
Hey, at the end of the day, confidence, being aggressive, and being humble are all different things. They're all different things, and you don't have to use confidence as an excuse, or sorry, you don't have to use aggressiveness to create confidence. That's not how that works, you know?
Yeah, but like, she's getting a lot of attention. The only problem is it's 50% Korea vote, 50% international vote. All the Koreans don't like her. A lot of the English-speaking Twitter doesn't like her. China vote better be strong if she wants to like do well in these votes. I'm assuming
China,
she'll
you
get
better
through.
like her.
She'll get through because she's well-known and she's good. But like, what a strong first impression for people who don't know who she is. They're like, who is this girl? She's dissing our Yujin, like...
Something I did want to bring up now that we're talking about like voting by countries, right? And the fandoms behind each group, each like the C, J, K groups.
Yes, Planet
Something
Garden,
that I've been
Anita.
kind of wondering about and a little concerned, because it kind of came up in the episode, was that there was a clip, right, where a lot of the Korean contestants were kind of saying that, this person was ranked in this way, but it's a different type of ranking because they were in C or J, right? Like they wouldn't be ranked the same way if they were in the K group. And then there was I don't remember who said it, but a girl said like, "Oh, K-pop belongs to Koreans, so we're gonna do better. Like we need to be the best." And I feel like interesting. I hope it's not as like cutthroat as that, where like it becomes very nationalistic. And
It was the other way too. Yeah.
Yeah. So like I hope it doesn't become more like, oh, we need to be this, or like we can do better because of this.
Well,
And like
here's the thing, Anita. It doesn't matter because they linked the three of them and their fates together.
true, but I feel like coming in, there's already that vibe of like, oh yeah, that she's the best of our group. Like, oh yes, like you have to look out for her. She's the best.
These sort of microaggressions sort of happened in 48 a little bit at the beginning too, I think.
Yeah.
Time.
People were really pissed about Sakura getting an A, right?
Yeah.
Remember?
Yes, I just hope that it doesn't be like Mnet has the power here where like they will edit whatever they say in a way to be spun in a dramatic way, So I feel like if it spins out that way where it becomes very competitive within like the country groups, like where they
Is that so? That's your biggest concern, Anita?
Yes, that's my biggest concern, because I feel like the point of the show, or like the message they're trying to throw with the show, is that they're coming together, they're joining forces, there's a connection here because they have a common goal, right? And I hope it does play out like that, but I just see like little comments.
I'm not nearly as worried as you are, to be honest.
Okay.
I think a couple things is because of the way they do these cells, they're gonna have to collaborate a ton, and rely on each other. And number two, at the end of the day, regardless of how we get there, I just want the best kids to make this group. That's how I feel about it. It's like from my perspective, if I have to beat how many of you? 90 of you, right? To make it in this group, right?
Yeah.
Like I don't care where you're from. That's how like if I was there, like I gotta beat 90 of you. I do think so far they showed a lot of Korean and Japanese groups. They held on all the famous kids for next week, right? They teased Yujin, so she'll probably. You know what? How much you want to bet Mnet doesn't even make her the first performance?
She's gonna
How much
go,
you want to
like,
bet? Last of the
End of the
audition.
episode. End of the episode.
She's gonna go the last one before they move on to the introduction to round one. Watch, right? But so the famous kids that I know of that haven't gone yet. Yujin hasn't gone yet. I want to say Rhoda from Yututu, who made like 13th place on that show. So she's the one who's sitting next to Yujin, who speaks a lot of Korean. So she hasn't gone yet. She's been getting a lot of screen time. Doa from Fanatics of Produce 48. She hasn't gone yet. All the Cherry Bullet kids, Jiwon, Bora, May haven't gone. Huning Kai's sister. I'm going to refer her as Huning's sister the entire season. So she's Huning's sister. She hasn't gone yet. And then also Suruchi, who's from Chuang, which was another one of the big Chinese shows. So a lot of the massive names haven't gone. And a lot of them were in the previews. I think next week auditions are going to be like lit. I think all the really talented kids are going to show up. Especially on the Korean side. Because Huning's sister also counts as a Korean. Because she's K-pop focused. How do we feel about this?
Interesting. I'm looking forward to how this plays out.
They're also holding vote opening until all the auditions are over. You can't vote right now.
Oh, good. That's fair.
I kind of like how they're doing that.
I'm glad.
I also think they did that to kind of level the playing field. Because if you had opened it and you had put all the notable kids in episode 1, they'll just get all the votes, right? So they not only do they let the people who we don't know get some exposure in the first week, but then they also hold the notable kids till week 2 and then open up voting. So I think that's kind of a fair balance on doing it that way. And at least they're trying to project that it's more fair, but
well,
you know how it is. They did skip over like 5 kids' performances in the first episode, right? They did like montages. Negative montages, right?
I mean, if they want to cosplay as good people, I guess it's better than, just like not showing any improvement. But,
I mean, at the end, I was trying to not get super excited for this show, right? Like, I tried real hard. I didn't look up anyone's profile before the show, right? Bro, I'm so hyped for this. I'm so hyped.
You're in it now.
I'm in it, dude.
You're in the trap.
If you are not on our Discord, but you are watching the show, you should join our Discord. We watched this live on Friday morning.
Oh, you guys did?
And we were live reacting in the channel. We make like a thread, which is sort of like a small like
channel,
condensed channel for an event. So we made a episode 1 channel. We were live talking about every single performance. We're like, this kid's terrible. We're like, what the hell was that decision they made? Like, it's kind of fun to watch it with people right? So we were doing that. So it was a good time. Are you hyped for this yet, Warren? Or
Not yet. No, not gonna lie. I mean, it was interesting watching it, but at the same time, I wasn't excited for Produce 48 episode 1 either.
Okay.
So, I think I'll let the hype slowly build up,
What about you, Anita?
I am surprised by some of the changes, right? Like that's what I was interested in. Like, how are they going to switch it up so that it's not as obvious as it is that it's another season of Produce? They changed the triangles for circles, but it's still very much the same goal, the same type of vibe, right? The editing is not that different. So I'm more interested to see how things play out with the merging, right, of like Japanese and Chinese members and making this work and making it more, I guess, it's not really international, be honest. It's not international by any means, but trying to make it less traditional, I guess, as to what they're used to. So, interesting.
There was way less communication issues than I thought there would be on episode 1.
True.
They kind of handled that well. Everyone speaks K-pop. All right, but I'm gonna try to limit myself this season to like 5 picks instead of like a list of them. The ones that stood out who performed in episode 1, there's 2 that I'm actually gonna like add to the list. Right? I'm picking Kawaguchi Yurina, who did Fancy Girl,
nice.
and then I'm gonna pick Ezaki Hikaru. Those are the 2 kids that I'm picking right now. That I like a lot.
Nice.
I think those 2 are really good. I remember those very distinctly as well.
Yeah.
So that's got to mean something.
Yeah, it's been fun so far. Hopefully, I actually want more spice. Feed me all the tears and spice. We want all of it. Me and one of our mods, Malfiar, we were like, feed us the tears this season.
More
Let's-
tears.
We want more
No.
spice and tears. We want battles. We want craziness the entire time, you know?
Oh, dear.
The last thing, they're apparently eliminating. So top 9 gets to switch up the cells, and they're gonna eliminate at least in the first elimination based on cells. That's gonna make some weird things happen. I don't know how I feel about that yet.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
But I read somewhere. This might be a little bit of a spoiler. Someone said that there might be some kind of saving mechanism for good kids that are in a bad cell, which
I
makes
was
sense
like
to
they
me.
got
Like
paired
they
up.
should have got eliminated,
Yeah.
but they were with bad kids, so we're gonna save the good kid. You know?
Maybe there's gonna be a thing where like 2 days or like 3 days before performance, they're like, cell switch up, and like people cry because they get a random cell switch up. That feels like an ended thing to do, right?
They
That feels
would.
like an
They
ended
would
thing.
do it.
So you
Right.
gotta think this cell adds a ton of complexity. If you have to stay with, so let's say after they switch up the cells after top 9 gets to do whatever, right? They're going to do you think that the cells have to perform the same round 1 song? So they have to argue over what song the 3 of them want to do. Things like that might happen.
Yeah, it's basically a group project after group project after
Yeah,
group
so
project.
like let's say I have my new cell because top 9 switched up my group, right? And then they reveal the songs for round 1, and then we're gonna sit there and argue over which of the songs we want to do. Things like that.
So that's the worst nightmare. I hate group projects.
Yeah, so this cell thing. I wonder if it's gonna be a complete dumpster fire. There's potential for that. All right, next week, but we'll keep talking about Girls Planet 999 unless it becomes terrible. So you should start watching it too. It's on. You can find it on IQTV, on all the illegal sites. I already have it that I like to use, so you can probably find it online.
You could find it.
And they live stream it Friday mornings, starting at like 7:30 Eastern time or something.
On
like that.
YouTube?
On
Right?
YouTube, live
Oh,
streamed
yeah,
with
nice.
subs. Just saying.
Yeah, they do
Wow.
the same thing with Produce Japan. That's cool.
All right, next week though, Tuesday, tomorrow, Boys the Kappa, the day this episode comes out. Thursday, Maka Maka, Park Ji-hoon, and then Monday, we got the big Red Velvet finally coming back, August 16th. Let's get it.
Let's go.
All right, but this has been SojuTalk, your weekly shot at K-pop. I am Doug, and I'd like to thank Warren and Anita for joining me this week. We'll see you guys next week. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Special shoutouts to our Fiesta patrons: Based Mina, Charles, Delmonic, Jedi, Goku Mama, Jacob, Liam's Games and Toys, Luke Daniels, Malfiar, NJ Parks, Tier. Thank you for joining SojuTalk, your weekly shot of K-pop. And special thanks to our Discord server mods: Jacob, K Music Erde, Koala, Malfiar, Max, No Bias Nuna, Tuggles, and Wolf297.